I might have a heated gaming moment watching this. Good.
Not yet. Not yet. We're not from different. Save all the good things for when the cameras are rolling.
I'm ready. Oh, God. Nothing. Listen up. Are you ready? Nothing brings me more pleasure than yelling at black people, okay? Because let me tell you, I have a lot of pent-up fucking angst in me, all right? I'm fucking PTSD'd right now. Because when I was younger, like 21, 22, all the time, I was in college, and there would be fucking dumbass fucking black people who made shit-ass points, okay? And I couldn't criticize them because I was a good little cucky white boy lib shit who never spoke up and knew it was important to be quiet when POC are speaking about their lived experiences, okay? I've grown up, I'm out of that shit, and I'm taking it back on the world. I go 3 times as hard whenever some dumbass motherfucker thinks he can get away with making stupid points because of the color of his skin.
Just to kind of introduce why we're all kind of here on a Saturday afternoon, I host a show here called Minority Reports. It's a digital show, and we're doing an episode based around like the political ideologies of the black community, and how they differ and where they overlap.
Okay. Right now, we're grading by appearance, okay? Let's see. All right, this person over here, this person on the left, the fat guy with the big face, okay? I respect this man. Look at this man zen, like Buddha, okay? Holy shit, this guy looks so fucking calm. I really respect that. This guy behind looks sleek as shit. Look at that. He fucking pressed that suit jacket and that shirt before coming here. This guy right here, I like this jacket with like the neck zipper thing. They're pretty cool. They're pretty nice. I respect it. However, I don't like those glasses. I just don't think they suit the facial frame. This guy looks pretty normy. This chick, I fucking love. What is this, like, Hotep shit with the fucking hair doodaloos? I think this looks rad as fuck. This lady looks super nice like my mom. This person looks like 5? Right here, they look really young, but they've got big lips. This dude's trying to adjust his erection, and this lady, I guess, has nice dreads? I don't know. Am I getting fucking weird champed? Is the Hotep thing... Wait, hold on. Like how you Google it and you get this shit. Listen, I have nothing but respect for crazy black nationalists, okay? I don't give a fuck what you people think. Nothing but respect. Was once a white guy with dreads? Nah, I never had dreads. What the fuck are you people talking about? Yeah. Black supremacists are huge pieces of shit, just like white supremacists. I don't give you any, like, oh, you're the oppressed minority shit on that. Black supremacists deserve every bit as much milkshake as white supremacists, okay? They tend to be just as bad. They just aren't in positions of institutional power. That said, what is it? Is there a term? Is there a term for, like that... Man, I'm sorry. I'm belying my ignorance right now. I'm just going to shut the fuck up.
And so we brought, a nice eclectic group of...
He really brought up the lips? Yeah, I bring up the fucking lips. I'm sorry. Is it wrong? Beeth it wrong for me to comment on the fact that black people tend to have larger lips and darker fucking skin tone? I'm sorry. I didn't realize that we had entered into fucking conservative land where liberal left cuck bitches are too fucking afraid of saying obvious empirical facts because they'll be called racist. Oh, God fucking help me. Oh, no!
Stop! Yelling.
He's...
Stop being weirdly fetishy with black people.
What did I say that was fetishy?
Everything. Just Candace Owens, all these people, you're like, I'm going to comment on their appearances. Feels fucking weird,
I comment
man.
on everyone's appearance.
Not like this.
Yes,
buddy.
I do.
No.
Candace Owens is unnaturally attractive. It's unfortunate.
That's not... Okay, one, attractive, but I don't know about unnaturally. That's also weird.
Wait, no, it's not.
Weird.
What's weird about saying Candace Owens is very attractive? Most political...
Unnaturally. I don't
Yeah,
know,
because
man.
most political commentators look like somebody stuffed fucking brisket into like a potato sack and drew a face on it.
So yeah.
Yeah, and obviously men can get away with this shit while they're like ugly or whatever. But there are also female political commentators, and I think that Candace Owens is very attractive.
Okay.
No, this is reverse fucking
Weird
racism.
vibes.
This is weird shit.
Vibes.
I comment on the appearance of literally every single fucking person that I do a video on, and then, oh, God forbid, it's a fucking black woman. Oh, no! Oh, so problematic. Oh, he acknowledged the fact that they have nice lips. Oh, impossible! Big lips on a black person. Only a Nazi would say that. Did you get that out of the bell curve, you fucking Nazi?
You're just jealous because they like me more and I'm gonna usurp you.
It's true.
Yeah. I'm not weird, you know? If there's anything I'm not, it's not fucking weird.
You're weird as shit!
Not on the Discord.
You got...
I know how to control myself.
Listen, you got weirdly big booby.
Oh no.
Big booby.
I love you.
I love you.
Go back to being racist.
Shut up. Get out of here. So as I was saying, I comment on the appearance of literally everyone that I watch shit on because I appeal to an edgy audience, and edgy people like making edgy, irreverent comments about other people's appearances. I wait very positive comments by and large about these people, and because I said somebody had large lips, that makes me a fucking Nazi. Yeah, okay, yeah, I got that one right out of the fucking bell curve. Fuck you, piece of shit. Can we keep going?
Brown people here to kind of discuss politics and how we all come to our political ideologies as members of the black community in America. Hopefully what this will do is allow our audience, who probably wouldn't find themselves in this type of an environment, to have this type of a conversation, to learn something. So with all that being said, 3 words or less, when you think of Donald Trump...
See, this is what I mean. Okay, listen. I'm appealing to my ignorance. What is the name of the hair doodlies? The doodly doos, the little gold things, the little gold clasp that she has on her box braids. Yeah, I know the difference between box braids and fucking dreadlocks. Is that what they're called? Now it sounds like a ship. Like a spaceship. They're called braid cuffs. Okay. Yeah? She's losing it in the other room. She's fucking losing it.
Trump, what is the first thing that comes to mind?
Those aren't box braids? What? Fuck out of here.
Also, I like that you're bragging that you know 2 black hairstyles.
That's far more than most white boys.
Oh, so you should be praised for it?
Yeah, give me fucking adulation. I haven't said the N-word once today.
I'm expecting it. You might as well have.
So with all that being said...
How are these not box braids? How?
Stop yelling.
These are box braids, right? They're crochet box braids, you imbecile. Fuck off. Fuck all of you. I fucking hate you people.
3 words or less. When you think of Donald Trump, what is the first thing that comes to mind? And Rob, why don't we start with you?
Okay, we're on the Donald Trump arena.
Strong.
Strong! Okay.
Make America great.
Oh, me. Can we
We'll slide
come
on the
back to
row,
me?
we'll come down.
Can we come back to me?
Oh, his ancestors' wildest dreams.
Very scary.
Trash. Man.
Anti-black.
Necessary.
Oh, God. Oh, God. All right.
I think unicorn in the sense of just causing so much discussion.
How's the volume, by the way?
The reason why Donald Trump is in the spotlight right now is because of our past failed governments. For the simple fact that when the Republican primary happened, there was like 16 different candidates. And don't get me wrong, there was like really good ones, really stature to the point that everyone in this group will be like, oh, yeah, I can see why he won. And Donald Trump became an opportunist and knocked down every single person week by week, like it was literally watching a different season of The Apprentice. Look what has America done, that a guy from the outside can just walk in there, bing, bang, boom, and take down these iconic, structured politicians that we looked up to throughout our whole lives.
So wait, what does that have to do with him capitalizing on the failure of previous government? Did he literally just admit that he just likes Donald Trump because he's a reality show candidate who came in and won?
In the swamp, as it was put.
Yeah.
But can we talk about that, though? Like, this whole notion of, like, a guy from the outside, like, that's part of my issue, right? Like, if you really know how this country is being run, like, the country has always been run by rich billionaires. So, like, he's not from the outside. This country has always been run by pharma, This country has always been run by banks. This country is literally run by the industries that he made his millions and billions in. So like this whole thing like, oh, he's a political outside. No, because politics has always been run by capitalism, which is the system that has always suppressed minorities. So like that's even in itself.
Always.
Capitalism has always suppressed.
Oh, they're mad. They get mad because he spoke the truth. Prophet fucking black guy in the top right said some shit he don't like, but they got mad because they couldn't handle the truth. What fucking editor put his name next to liberal down there in the bottom right? You fucks didn't see it because my cam covered it. They called him a fucking liberal. That wasn't some lib shit. That was some lefty shit.
Minorities?
I don't think so.
Capital in this country.
I don't think so.
I do have to
They're
jump in
mad.
and take a little bit of umbrage with this idea that capitalism is some sort of system that oppresses minorities at this point. And also, I don't like saying minorities.
Oh, God.
We want to talk about black people. Like, let's just talk about black people.
He doesn't like saying minorities. Oh my God. Who the fuck is this guy? And why does he look like a model?
Because I'm not a minority. I'm not a person of color. I'm black.
Can we all
Wow, that's the cockiest. Jesus Christ, it's. Why can't I make facial expressions like this? Holy shit. The video's too quiet compared to me? Yeah, that's what I thought, but you dumb fucks didn't say so. Because you're all stupid and I'm big brain. Fuck, that's good. This is so good. If this was an emo, it would be like confidently saying something really fucking stupid.
All right, so I just want to make that point. All right,
absolutely.
So when we look at capitalism as something that has oppressed minorities or is oppressing minorities, we remove from ourselves the capacity to use capitalism in order to build our communities, in order to move
What?
forward for ourselves.
Yeah.
What? By acknowledging that capitalism has fucked over minorities, that prevents minorities from using capitalism? Fascinating.
Show of hands, who here voted for Donald Trump?
All day.
Rob, you did not vote for Donald Trump. I did not vote in the 2016 election. Tell me why. I didn't vote in the 2016 election because where I was in my life, I didn't feel like either of those candidates had earned my vote. I considered myself a Democrat at the time. I loathed Hillary Clinton and the entire
we know.
Clinton machine. And if you really want to get into it, I voted for Bernie Sanders in the primary.
Oh, Jesus.
We found it. We found the one Bernie bro. Oh man, somebody let all the stupid bitch wine moms in their fucking late 50s in the suburbs outside New York know. All the bitches who keep complaining that Bernie Sanders shouldn't be a presidential candidate because he's silencing women or whatever. We found him. We found the one Bernie bro, and he was black.
Talk about a conversion. You don't talk about a conversion. I voted for Bernie Sanders in the New York State primary. Like that's where I was. Okay.
For the black conservatives, how do you align with white conservatives when they speak mal of black people, just in terms of how, especially they speak of black men?
You call them out. My whole thing is like
not
for
even
me,
calling them out, but just how you stand with them when they are speaking
well,
mal
how do you
against
stand with Hillary Clinton when
Like,
she calls kids super predators?
But I'm just saying, so
thing.
overtly and continuously, how do you do that?
It's overt and continuous from the Democratic Party as well. So
People are people.
It's no. So the lady in the bottom right just asked, like, how do you stand with Republicans when they're constantly saying dumbass bad shit about black people? And he's like, well, back in the 90s, super predator. And then she was like, okay, well, it's repeated and constant and current with the Republican Party. And he said the same for the Dem Party, which is, I don't know about that one, Chief. I don't know.
It's a war. It's a war either way, anywhere you go. You know what I'm saying? But there are going to be some racists all over the place. So now it's like, okay, yo, watch your mouth. Like, I'm not, okay, we're not going that route.
What is your reaction when you see a black person wearing a MAGA hat?
I didn't hear the last part.
When you see a black person wearing a MAGA hat, 3 words or less, what is your reaction?
Oh, man, I really like this guy. This fucking guy?
Go for it.
I thought she said.
That was his. 3 words or less.
Okay, but that's his response.
Yeah.
3 words or less. There's a story. I don't know. That's 4. I don't know. There's a story.
Independent-minded brother.
I love that. I fucking love that mentality. Oh, hey man, you support a fucking racist proto-fascist who props up like the same fucking racial hierarchy that keeps us in shit. Yeah, you woke. Yeah, free thinker, bro. Way to not kowtow to the crackers. What the fuck? This is so stupid. Wait, you can oh yeah. Fucking post-war Southern Reconstruction. Hey, fucking... Hey there, Jeffrey. Can't help but notice you're still working for the master we had. Now that's a free thinker, not getting behind all this emancipation shit. What the fuck are you on about? This... That's not an argument. Anyone can be a free thinker if you have a stupid fucking opinion. What? Flat earthers are free like, what? Stop being so weird about race. It's about black conservatives!
I'm talking about your black voice, you fucking idiot.
I do voices of everyone.
Okay.
Nope. No. I think, you know what I think? Here's my hot fucking take. You know what's fucking racist? Doing dumbass voices to impersonate all the people that you talk about, as I do, but then, oh geez, this guy's black. Oh no. Oh god, it's just like the minstrel shows, except not even remotely, and it doesn't bring back any of the connotations or harm them in any oh geez. Fucking weirdos. That wasn't even AAV. Ah, fuck off with all of you.
I got one word. It's bold.
That's so funny. He said, brother.
Confused. Oh, cringe.
You do you.
Looks good on you. Can't fit on my head.
What is your...
Enjoy that MAGA hat while you can still wear it. My head is too large, and I can no longer partake in the frivolities of youth. Go forth.
Perception of black conservatives?
Believing in Trump's rhetoric, just morally, I don't understand. Because morally, just him as a person, as an entity, is just super corrupt, and his ideologies, I don't understand how anyone can be about it, but especially a black person, just as an identity as a black person, I don't understand it.
Yeah, here's my theory. The guy in the far left, the fucking big guy with the big head, yeah, the reason why he supported Trump, huge brain, he's playing fucking 9D chess right now, okay? He's a full tilt ML accelerationist, okay? He voted for Trump 100% to accelerate the collapse of America, so the glorious fucking neo fucking egalitarian empire can rise from its ashes.
But the thing about it is that he asked you about conservatism and then you took it to Trump.
Like, girl, just say what you feel about black conservatives. Let's talk about MAGA hats. That was my connection, yeah.
For those of us who identify as conservative, right? I want to hear about your treatment within the black community, being an outspoken black conservative, and then I want to hear about the perceptions that you think people have of you. Whoever wants to start.
Well, I'll start with myself.
Go for it.
Because, so look, you're going to hear, and I'm going to let Bevelin speak to the black perspective, but I'm going to speak from the gay perspective,
sure.
All right?
Oh, man. Oh, it must feel good to be a token.
Because I came out as a black gay conservative about 6 months ago. I have been treated horribly.
Good.
By other gay people.
Good.
The only friends that have dumped me, or quote-unquote friends that have dumped me for being conservative Republican, have been the gay ones.
Good.
The people who give me the most grief on social media have been the gay ones. The people that call me the nastiest, all kinds of house nigga.
What a fucking whiny little bitch baby. Christ, talk about fucking feels over facts. And after I came out in support of fascism, all my friends stopped messaging me. I miss them.
Uncle Tom, all this stuff. These have been gay people, or the people from the quote-unquote tolerant and inclusive LGBTQ.
Quote-unquote, fucking typical fucking gay liberals. They say they're progressive and tolerant, but when I do a little bit of Nazi stuff, No, where's the tolerance then? Oh, so I support fascism just a little bit? No tolerance for me? Huh, these fucking hypocrites. They say they like everyone, but they say they don't like it when you prop up white nationalism. Oh, how hypocritical. I don't get it. My cool babysitter said I could do whatever I wanted to, long as I stayed in the room, and then she got really mad when I pissed all over the carpet. She said I could do whatever.
Community, all right? So this is what my experience has been, and being somebody that has been an advocate and still consider myself an advocate, just not in the way that they...
He opens his mouth so much when he talks. This guy has to be some kind of model or actor or something. He's way too pretty, and he's way too fucking expressive to not be. I really want to know what this fucking guy's job is.
Want me to be. I was very shocked by that, because I think that when I came out as conservative, they like to push forward this veneer of inclusion and tolerance, and that dropped like that. So it was the nastiest treatment that I had ever seen, and I never expected it. And you never expect it as a gay person until it happens to you.
I don't understand. It was Friday, and normally it was chicken tendy night, but my mom was tired, so when I asked what I could make, she said anything. And then she got mad when I started eating the wood off of the table. When I started grinding it into pieces and shoving it down my throat, she got upset, and she tried to pull me away from the table because there were shards of wood poking through my trachea and sticking out of my neck, and I was bleeding everywhere, but she said I could have anything. I'm not sure. I don't know how to respond like in a funny way to the same shit over and over and over again. It's called the tolerance paradox. Everyone's gone over this a billion fucking times. By the way, this whole thing, like, about liberals being tolerant, I've never heard a liberal say this. I've only ever heard conservatives complain that liberals aren't. I've never heard of, I'm a very tolerant. I've never heard that. I'll be like, I'm pro-LGBT, I'm pro-blank, I'm pro-blank, I'm pro-blank, I'm anti-blank. I've never heard any of them just say, I'm very tolerant. I've never heard that in my life. Not when I was a liberal, and not now that I'm a leftist. So it seems to exist purely as a straw man that they can bitch about. Oh, Shu on Head's in the YouTube chat. Hey, Shu. You'll have to come into my fucking website chat if you want me to see you. Yeah, sorry. I know you've got 250,000 subs. I've got my own fucking chat now. And my cool-ass website. Yeah, woohoo.
For me, like, it started with my high school friends. Everybody was unfriending me on Facebook because, you know, I was talking about the Trump election and I went to the inauguration and all of that. So my and then it trickled down to my family. Aunts won't speak to me. Even now I got aunts that don't talk to me because I want to be white. So it's like I get this stigma all the time.
Wow.
You want to be white and you don't move to New York City and now you think you up there with the big city folk and you want to be white. It seems like when I speak of what I speak of, it's only the fact that I just want to be white. And that's so far-fetched from the truth. I've been called a bed wench. I've been called, and I mean, I'm talking about from my black brothers who on they page be talking about black queens and all of this stuff like that. But the moment I don't agree with nothing they talking about, now I'm a bed wench. Now you know what I'm saying? I'm all this other stuff. And it's just like, I mean, to be honest with you, ain't nobody been boss enough to say none of this stuff in my face, and they not gonna. All of this is via social media, we know this. But at the same time, it's just like hatred. It's been nothing but hatred. And, you know, for me, it's like, even when I deal with liberals who may have their little mindset or way they think, I ain't gonna disrespect them and call them all types of names. It's like, I'll gain all that flack and disrespect. And it's just like, because I wanna be white, this is what I get. Yeah,
I'm not sure how I feel about this, okay? So, listen, normally I don't give a fuck about identity politics. Like, I will never say, like, as a white person to talk about like the relevance with which I can speak on an issue. In my experience, I have met a lot of like black conservatives who really kind of seemed like they just were self-hating blacks who wanted to be white. I really have seen a lot of that, but I can't deductively assume that, you know what I mean? The most I can say is that their behavior is pretty much like identical to what you would expect from somebody who was like a self-hating black who wanted to be white, but there's no way of really actually fucking knowing. I don't know if in their head because what's weird to me is that like like, if you're a black conservative, that means that you're part and parcel to like a media machine that's designed to dehumanize you, to trivialize your concerns. Like this is a pretty simple one, right? There are a lot of white conservatives who will say that that black people just need to pick themselves up by their bootstraps and that white people aren't keeping them down. Okay, well, then why are, like, black people on average so fucked in the United States of America compared to white people? Oh, well, because of their culture. Okay, why have black people created such a bad culture that causes them to, like, suffer so many fucking negative consequences compared to white people? Oh, because at this point, there are only two things they can say. They can either say it's caused by the environment they're a part of, which means it's environmentally determined, which means that white people have had a huge, like, part in shaping this, or they can say it is because black people are genetically predisposed to be stupider and more violent. So, like, that's the those are the only two choices that you can take at that point. You either acknowledge socioeconomic circumstances, or you say that black people are genetically inferior. And there are a lot of black conservatives out there who aren't willing to recognize the former, so I have to assume they tacitly assert the latter, meaning that they probably are some kind of self-hating black. I mean, Jesse Lee Peterson himself specifically described, he actually talks about black people being, like, on average worse and less intelligent and less moral than white people, and he's, like, says he wishes he could be white. Like, what am I supposed to do with that? You know, it just seems to me that it's often very difficult to it's like a tough line to cross, that one, but I don't think it's unreasonable. I think it's pretty reasonable in many cases. I think it's pretty reasonable in many cases to make the assumption, like inductively, that a lot of these black conservatives are self-hating, like black people, but there's no way of knowing for sure, you know? Yeah, I'm gonna pee real quick. Should I invest in, like, a gamer bucket down by my feet? I feel like it wouldn't be the worst idea.
No.
Why not?
I don't want to have to smell your reeking piss.
Also, what happened to cleaning Lizard's tank in the morning? You promised?
You started streaming, like, right away. Do you want me to do while you're streaming?
You promised.
Okay, do you want me to do it while you're streaming?
Can you do it tonight after D&D?
Yes. Do you want me to do it during stream?
Well, I mostly want to, like... I wanted you to do it, like, a week ago. Alright, what was I saying? Yeah, like a bucket. Because I talk, like, a lot. Like, I feel like for most streamers, I probably talk at least a little bit more than they usually do. So I have to drink water to keep my throat, you know... Say... Oh yeah, obviously I would never empty the pee bucket. I would just keep it there by my feet. Alright, can we keep going?
So does anyone else...
I said made a statement online. I got a lot of people commenting on it. Was I didn't see true racism in this country until I became a conservative. Because I seen...
I never saw true racism in this country until I became a conservative. Then you're a fucking idiot. You're just a subhuman degen fucking brainlet, bat-eyed fucking no-lifer who had no idea what was going on in this country beforehand. I have less than no respect. Here is the amount of respect I have for black people who say they never experienced racism until they became a conservative, okay? All right? So here, right here, this exact, you see this level perfectly flat. Okay, this is 0.0. Okay, this is the amount of moral consideration right here that I give to the microbes that I step on while I go outside to get my fucking mail. Okay, all right. Do you see this? Okay, and then, are you following this? Okay, can you see? Do you see where my hand is? Can you see? That's about where I put it. Okay. That's about where I put that shit. I don't give a fuck. All you do is belie a complete and total fucking ignorance of like socio-economic climate in America. You're just admitting you have no fucking idea what you're talking about.
Hate speech come from people. You don't talk about left always talk about hate so much. I saw true hate coming from the left, and it was white people calling me Uncle Tom. Pretty much, white people telling me I'm not black enough, which is racist.
No, it's
when you call them out on it and you say they're racist, they're like, no, I'm not. Then they think about it like, well, yeah, I am kind of being racist.
Yeah, I mean, I call people Uncle Tom all the fucking time, and I'd call it to this dude's fucking face. Absolutely, yeah. And it's not because you're not black enough. I don't give a fuck how black you are. It's because you're very, very clearly trying to purchase fucking white boy points from like the conservative establishment by licking their asshole after they shit, okay? Very clearly. There is a very deep circle of hell for people like this, okay? Like, listen, just imagine the fucking mental gymnastics. I never saw racism until I came out as a conservative. Okay, so not only are you tacitly denying the existence of any kind of institutional or interpersonal racism against black people, but you still want to get like the good boy points of complaining about being like treated in a racist manner, but only from the left. The amount of fucking delusion necessary to frame your life in this context is beyond the fucking pale, and I have no respect for these people.
That's how racist the left still is. And then I have family members, like she said, my aunts that don't talk to me anymore. I have high school friends, since childhood, that don't talk to me.
Do I have any mods in chat right now? Like, get at it.
Me, and a lot of white friends as well. Now, I'm not talking about just black friends, but I'm talking about people on the left in general who just have that hate in their heart, in my opinion. And it just...
yeah, we fucking hate conservatives. Get them out of here.
That's...
I mean, and it's so interesting that on the left, like the wokies is what I call them. These are the people that are woker than you can ever be. But the wokies give the white liberals of the left this space to tell a black person how to be black and how you are supposed to experience. It's not you, girl, but
I can't hear what the fuck he's saying right now, but all the conservatives are too busy nutting in their fucking khakis.
You're supposed to think as a black person.
Who here voted for Barack Obama? Damn near everybody.
Well, no, twice.
Campaign for him in 08.
Both terms.
So did I.
He had a great campaign. I just didn't vote for him.
A semi-personal question. Did anyone vote for him just because he was black?
Not just, but that was a big reason I voted for him.
See, I'll admit, it's really funny because I'm a conservative, and I will admit that I voted for Barack Obama in 2008 purely because he was black.
Yes.
People always make a big deal over this, but white people disproportionately voted against Barack Obama, and white people disproportionately voted in favor of, like, fucking Trump. People, of course, if you have like a slave state of 400 years where black people are marginalized and shit on all the time, and then you finally see an opportunity to see one of your people get put as president, of course a black person's gonna vote for fucking Obama. But white people would do the same thing in the reverse circumstance. White people do the same in the same circumstance when white people have held majority power for the entire fucking existence of America. White people will still identity politics fucking Trump into office.
I'll admit that.
And I did too.
I'll admit it. And the reason why I voted for him is because I was so open to and so available to be used by all of the systems that made that person president, right? And for all of the systems that were promoted to me, this idea that just because he is biracial, African-American, whatever you want to call it, that he is going to somehow have my best interest at heart, that he somehow comes from the same experience that I did.
No
Barack
idea.
Obama did not come from the same experience as me. Let me tell you something. I grew up black and poor in Akron, Ohio. Okay? This person was born and raised in wealth and privilege his entire life.
Didn't Barack Obama get born middle class? Like, I'm not saying he was poor or anything, but I'm pretty sure Barack Obama, as presidents go, was pretty fucking self-made, right? He was born, like, middle class in Hawaii, and then he was really smart, and then he went to, like, Harvard Law, right? Like, this is hardly an example of somebody being born into wealth and privilege in the same way politicians typically are. But I agree. I do agree, by the way. There are probably a lot of black people who were suffering in America who thought that Obama would be like the key to like starting to right those wrongs. And they didn't, because it turns out the solution to racism is not more identity politics. The solution to racism is a class unity against capitalism. That is the solution. And of course, Obama, being a capitalist and a conservative by any reasonable metric, did not in any way, shape, or form meaningfully advance the well-being of black people in America. But that doesn't mean that there was anything necessarily wrong with voting for him on like a hope.
And the idea that this person was somehow more connected to me because we share the same skin color is crazy. But I bought it, and it was sold to me. I bought it.
And I made that same mistake in a way, and I voted for him mainly because he was a black man.
Same mistake.
Same mistake. Yeah, it was a mistake, definitely. Yeah, and 8 years later, the mistake, that's one reason why I'm conservative now, because I said when I was young, more naive, I was willing to vote for somebody because of the way they look. And look what it did for me. Absolutely nothing. So I make sure next time I make a vote, it's going to be with some substance. It's going to make sure somebody's going to have what they're saying and what their actions is going to make me cause their vote. And that's why.
And then after getting tired of voting for politicians who were all flash, no substance, he voted for Donald Trump, the very level-headed, grounded candidate who has followed through on all of his campaign promises and meaningfully advanced the well-being of black Americans. You got him. You're 2 for 2, buddy.
Before we move forward, by show of hands, who is disappointed with the Barack Obama presidency?
What the fuck is this guy doing? This is a grown-ass man. He's throwing both of his fucking arms up? What the fuck?
I'm disappointed with President. I'm disappointed with all of them.
Hey, Bootleg Booty, I see you standing for me in chat. I love you, buddy, okay? That's right. That's what I'm saying. Thank you.
I can talk about a couple of things. I can talk about a couple of things, right? We put a black...
It's like so immature, like, who thinks the left is dumb? Me! I think the left is stupid! Okay, boy. Okay, dude. All right, boyo. You got him.
Blackface on a white imperialist nation and expected that change was going to happen. My grandmother, my ancestors, especially my grandmother, my grandfather, they were sold that that was what the American dream was supposed to look like, that a black man could come in this country, that black people could come from chattel slavery and achieve the highest position in the land. Unfortunately, the way that these systems of oppression work, especially K through 12, we're often taught that leadership, what's going to lead black people to liberation, is going to come from a white man.
Oh.
And, so like when we then had a black face up there, it really felt like, we really close. Like we really close. But then it was a lot of unlearning that a lot of us had to do, a lot of unlearning that we all still currently have to do to understand that our oppression, where our oppression came from and the fact that like we're never going to be led to liberation in a binary system. A binary system for black people is literally always going to be us choosing the lesser of two evils, no matter how you slice it or dice it. Whether it's a Republican in office, whether it's a Democrat in office, I'm always choosing my death either as a blunt force blow or death by 1,000 paper cuts. And it tends, why I guess in general black people always lean Democratic is because that death is by 1,000 paper cuts, as opposed to what I'm dealing with right now where I'm watching HIV funding being stripped as a black queer HIV positive person, where I'm watching trans people losing all of their rights in this country as an LGBTQ person.
What rights are trans people losing?
Let's ignore that very stupid statement at the end there. We don't deserve this fucking guy. Right here? We don't deserve this person, all right? Go on. This is so far, by the way, literally the only person here who seems like they have even the slightest understanding of what they're talking about.
Good question.
Oh yeah, okay.
Rights in this
let's get to it.
Country as an LGBTQ person.
What rights are trans people losing?
Yeah, and the fucking kid's like, oh god, the kid looks NB. You all know what I'm talking about, right? So like, because with gender, like we be like, oh, like that person, I can see their cock swinging around, probably a dude, and that person, no, the big floppy titty, oh, probably girl. And then you can see like, oh, a person's probably an NB, Like I'd say short cropped hair and like overalls are pretty good. Yeah, you know what I'm going on about.
Good question. Yeah.
So let's. You want to respond? No, I'm serious too.
Yeah, I can take it. I can take it.
I'll
gladly take it. So we can start with, in 2017, the Office of National AIDS Policy was taken away. There is no more Office of National AIDS Policy. Transgender women, including especially black trans people, are the highest infected people of HIV in this country, including black MSMs. So you had that office taken away. You then have had where $586 million was removed from the Ryan White Fund.
Don't you think a lot of minorities subscribe to reactionary views to escape the feeling of self-victimization? Yeah, I completely agree with that, and they're going to hell for it. I don't give a fuck what excuse you've got for being a reactionary. There's no excuse.
And transferred for the border separations. Ryan White money is what pays for people to have HIV care in this country when they cannot afford it. That includes transgender people. You have where 7 words were...
Look at her. She's like, damn, this guy brought facts to this thing? I thought I came with my bucket of feels. This guy over here came with his fucking facts briefcase. This fucking guy slammed his fucking briefcase in the ground, fucking threw it open, and then he starts neatly unpacking his fucking facts pile, okay? And she's like, God damn, I didn't know we had to come this prepared.
Removed from the CDC funding, including vulnerable, transgender, and scientific base. So now companies that...
This is actually really funny with the blonde haired one, like fucking none, like yeah. And then the one with the fucking braids just looking incredulously.
From the CDC funding, including vulnerable, transgender, and scientific base. So now companies that supported trans rights and trans people can't write grants to get money to help that particular demographic. You have the transgender military ban. When I say that they are literally attacking LGBTQ rights, this is not a joke. It is just coming because it's...
He knew shit I didn't know. Fuck. I didn't know about the AIDS fucking thing getting removed. Fuck. I guess I wasn't doing this back then, but still.
So much bullshit going on, you just miss that every day these little things are happening.
And the moment everyone fucking triggered, they're all so mad.
I just wanted to say, it's curious to me, because I'm somebody who's gay as well. I'm gay, I'm not queer, I'm not LGBTQ, I am a gay man.
I'm gay, I'm not LGBTQ, I'm just gay. Oh, God, what a fucking moron.
Speak to what I'm speaking to.
No, I can't. And what's so curious to me is that we talk about our community as if everybody that's transgender is infected with HIV or has housing insecurity. Has everybody that's a gay and lesbian, like black or male,
that's not even that's not what I said.
So this is how,
he didn't say any of this shit.
My whole thing is, this is how we speak.
Here's a very calm and concise lists of way in which trans and LGBT rights are getting stripped by this organization. Well, I know you're saying that, like, all trans people have AIDS or whatever and have housing insecurity. I just don't understand. Like, it just seems like you just want to make us victims. By the way, I'm gay. I'm not LGBT. I don't know what the G stands for. I'm only gay. I'm not a minority. I'm just a black gay man. Hey, everyone. Listen to me. I'm a black gay man. And the only bigotry I've ever experienced was from other gay people and other black people. Listen to me. I'm black and gay, but I'm not a minority. I'm not a minority at all. And LGBT, I don't know. God, I fucking hate this guy. Christ. What's the name of the stand, dude? Hold on. Oh, there we go. Wait, we're at 1545.
Outside, like, that's part of my issue, right? Like, if you really know how this country...
George Johnson. Hold on. Fuck, that's such a generic name. No, that sure as fuck isn't him. Is he a contributor? George Johnson for Vice magazine. By George Johnson. Is there an email provided? This is him, right? I'm pretty sure this is, but it might be... Is it racist of me to think so? Oh my god, this guy has 48,000 followers? And verified? Oh god. I can't get this guy on. I'm getting out chatted. Fuck. This is him, right? Because I'd be racist if I thought two black people look... Yep. Yep. Similar skull structure. All right. Open DMs? Hold on. I have no idea how to approach people in a semi-professional manner. Like, literally none. Like, at all. Well, while we're braked, really quick, I'm going to look at some donations, I suppose. Damaron68 with the $6. Hey, Vaush, got my ass kicked and arrested at protest. I'm glad you've been unarrested. John, what are your thoughts on guns? Do you agree with Marx when he says the proletariat needs to be armed? Yes and yes. I'm very, very, very strongly pro-gun rights, 100%. And I do agree the proletariat needs to be armed. I'm not going to say the N-word at you. God, you guys are weird. Fatal X Pancakes with the $2. A point not brought up often enough in the gun debate is the massive amount of guns smuggled into Mexico and South America by Americans, the lack of legislation to deter this, and death and violence caused by this. Yeah, a lot of people think it's all like Mexicans like smuggling that shit in, but in reality, American gun companies produce a fuck ton of stuff that gets smuggled down and used to fund like cartel and paramilitary groups south of the border. Which is pretty fucked. Bogdan Vera with the £5. What's happening in London? I mean, it's rainy over there. Ask Yourself with the $5 Canadian. Oh, hello, Ask Yourself. I'd like to know if Vaush rejects a premise of my deductive syllogism in comment section of debate. If so, why? If not, part 1 of his argument breaks. Ask Yourself. We're not doing veganism right now. We're telling black people they're dumb. SRA, yay or nay? Probably yay. But Ask Yourself, I love you and I appreciate it. And also ask yourself, this isn't something we touched on very much, but you need to, the problem here isn't you establishing a moral good. The problem is you establishing a moral necessity. That's like the big question right there. Carly with the $1, thank you. New Made Umosa. Medumosa? With the £5, the box in box braid refers to the squares in which the person's hair is divided. Love you, man. Oh, was it not boxy over there? I don't even fucking know. I love you too. Enigmaniac with the $2, surprised you picked out every conservative. Lovingly Dole with the $2, Rob Smith is the oddly pretty guy. He's a military vet and political analyst. He once did an interview with Dave Rubin saying coming out as conservative was harder than coming out as gay. Oh, cool. Nice. Okay. So the fucking pretty boy and the thing went on Dave Rubin. Delightful. Nice. Dave Rubin, who kowtows to and sucks up to fucking white nationalists. Great. What a phenomenal representative of opinion. Isn't it great? This reinforces literally everything that I say about conservatives. They're like, oh yeah, we'll bring on a black conservative, and they bring on somebody who's been with Dave Rubin, somebody who platforms Nazis. Okay? All conservatives are fucking, if they're not Nazis, they're like one step away from being a fucking Nazi. John with the $2. I see Shoe in chat. Is Shoe getting bread pilled? Shoe on head is a fucking friend of the show, comrade. Capratome Arts with the $5. Can we please see the lizard? Off topic, but please, I'll think about it, okay? And Hideyoshi Lacan with the $7 Canadian. What's the difference between social psychology and sociology? Social psychology generally refers to the way in which social acumen, like social conditions, affect a person's interpretation of the world and so on and so forth, whereas sociology refers to more broader sort of institutional and less intrapersonal measures. It's a little bit more, I guess, it's a more broader specific approach, effectively. But psychology and sociology are very deeply intertwined. Ciancius with the $1 video should have been called One Woke Chad Dominates 8 Sub-Chuds. Boy, that is really hard to say. One Woke Chad Dominates 8 Sub-Chuds. Okay, it's not that bad, I guess. Thank you, Ciancius. All right, let's keep it going. Gotta fucking move the camera. I gotta fix that.
We speak of the community all the times is that we are always some oppressed victim.
Yeah, victim.
Let me ask another question. As a gay person, it drives me insane because I fought for LGBT rights when I got arrested at the front of the White House protesting Don't Ask, Don't Tell repeal because I served in the military for 5 years.
Oh, nice. Someone donated to tell me, and now like a second later.
I grew up poor and black in Akron, Ohio, all right? I went to one of the...
What the fuck is this donation? Max Daddy 69 with $5. Max Daddy 69 said, let's say black people on average have a lower IQ than white people, and it's caused by genetic factors. What then should be done about them, if anything? I'm going to... Okay, hold on. This is a topic. I'm going to assume that you're asking this in good faith, okay? So, here's the answer, okay? For one, and I need to lead this off, there is literally no evidence whatsoever, literally no evidence to suggest that there is any sort of genetically inheritable IQ differential between people of different races. It seems like race really is skin deep for the most part. But if that were known to not be the case, I would ask, and I have always asked, why this means that race is a necessary characteristic by which human beings should be divided. See, people make categorizations, such as race and gender, to serve social utility, and throughout history, these categorizations have existed pretty much exclusively to mandate social hierarchies. Being that I do not want there to be a social hierarchy surrounding race, that means, naturally, that I see no social utility for race itself. What's more, even if what you just said was the case, and it's not, and I need to be very clear about that, but even if it is, it seems to me like the best way to solve the problems, like, across the board then, would just be for everyone to commingle and for race to disappear as a concept, both sociologically and genetically. If everyone just became the same, like, murky shade of olive brown, would this not be the solution to all things? Did you get time to read those IQ and political heritability articles I linked to you? Non-authority, I promise you I did not. Whatever the case is, I am 100% in favor of making human beings as uncategorizable as possible. And if that means, like, fucking around till we're all some shade of brown, then absolutely. I'm doing my part. Hyena's Hispanic. Kind of. She's like half Hispanic. Wouldn't that lower the IQ of all races? No, it really wouldn't. IQ is not some, like, people are born with, like, the big brain gene, and then some people are born with a little brain gene, and then if everyone mixes around, everyone has the medium brain gene. The means by which people express their, like, intelligence is way more complicated than that. Like 100%. Also, you could make the argument that there could be a diminishing return placed there, where if you had, hypothetically, people who are not as intelligent and people who are as intelligent intermingling, not only does that lower the IQ, hypothetically, of the more intelligent race, it would raise it of the less intelligent race. So the idea, so even if every ridiculous racist syllogism that you've put forward is true, that IQ is heritable, that different races have different IQs, and that intermingling the races would cause the IQs to, like, level out and lower the higher average, that would still serve to the benefit of a very large group of people. There's literally no way to argue this race IQ perspective without arbitrarily favoring one race over another. It literally can't happen. There's no way to talk about it, and there's no way to entertain the possibility surrounding it unless you're just racist. Thoughts on sexual objectification? I don't know. Just don't hurt anyone. All right, let's do it. Sorry, that's just a question I've seen bouncing around a lot.
The worst schools in Akron, Ohio. I went to the military, risked my life multiple times, to get every single thing that I have right now. There is no reason that every single black kid on the block can do that same thing. Oh, no.
This is, again, and this is the poison of conservative logic. This is why conservatives are subhuman. Yeah, we could make the world a better place in ways that are statistically probable and ways that are, like, backed sociologically. Or what if everyone just did the best they could and everyone did better? I did better. Everyone can do better. Their argument is this is literally like a toxin to the human mind. This isn't just a bad argument. This way of thinking is like a crippling force. And people who believe it and people who spread it are like animals to me. I have no respect for them. Also, listen to this guy cry like, "Oh, this just makes us victims," when he fucking unironically bitched and moaned about gay people and black people and being mean to him because he was a conservative.
So before we get into that, hold on.
We're not going there. We're not going
We're not going to do that.
I think we should, though.
We're gonna get to all these things. So you didn't vote for Donald Trump.
I did not.
What are the issues that you take with the president?
So, just really quickly to a point that George said, right? That I feel like
This guy looks like a friend I once had. That's not relevant. They just have similar facial structures. The cheek dimples right here.
The candidates that get being put up year after year after year keep hardlining us. We're saying we're choosing the lesser of two evils, right? Where I think that is.
Wait. Max Daddy 69. Although, what on earth? Oh, Max Daddy 69, listen to me. There is literally no evidence suggesting that there is a genetic predisposition towards low intelligence or high intelligence for members of any race. It's literally, to the best of our knowledge, entirely a social derivative, okay? 100%. So don't even fucking sweat it. And Arco-Tac, stop being so white. What the fuck are you talking about? He's got pronounced cheek dimples. That's not even a fucking black thing. You fucking dark-skinned people. So fucking weird about people talking about otherwise completely innocuous characteristics of a dark-skinned person's appearance. Honestly. Oof, stop spamming in chat.
Really important that we see candidates that come from our communities that are talking.
What is going on right now? Well, you are being very white right now. How exactly am I being white? Let's say, hypothetically, black people of lower IQ, uncontrolled immigration from Africa into Europe, high-level immigration. No, Hilsa. Do I have unironic race realists in my chat? Mods! What the fuck are you people doing? Hyena!
I'm making my D&D character. I already told them that.
All right, Hyena.
If they want me to ban somebody, literally at me with their names, and I will ban them.
We need more mods.
You do need more mods.
I'm not a race realist. I'm just asking questions. What the... No, you're not. Hilsa, you're not just asking questions. You're promoting a white nationalist conspiracy theory.
About, like, for me, right, I'm 25 years old. My student loan debt was due on Monday. Still haven't paid that, right, because don't got the money to pay that right away. So thinking about what are ways that we see people who are experiencing the same thing, who are coming from our community.
I'm just ignoring chat. Y'all are fucking dumb. Y'all are on timeout. You exist purely for your own benefit now.
Also recognize the historical debt that this country has to black people and to people of color so that we can move forward. So we know that, like, none of us are free unless all of us are free.
Thank you.
So, but when it comes to...
I'm free. I don't know what he's talking about. That got nothing to do with me. I'm free.
So you voted for Donald Trump?
Yes.
Would you mind telling us why he won your vote in 2016?
At first, I really didn't know much about what Trump was doing. I just knew, okay, it ain't her. So I'm just going to vote for him. And I was
The Hillary thing. Fuck, these people are so fucking emotional.
still coming into being a conservative and all of that. And I just got converted to a Christian. I'm looking at my Christian values and I'm growing as a Christian and I'm realizing, wow, you know what I mean?
Converted into a Christian? Yikes. Imagine unironically going to being a Christian. Yee.
This man is really aligning himself with what we truly believe in, you know, and coming from the South, Charlotte, North Carolina, we're really Christians, you know what I'm saying? Where my people from, you know, everything is based off of that. So I'm not going to support any party that's going to support abortion. You know what I'm saying? We just now getting kind of comfortable with homosexuality, you know what I'm saying? And also, you know, it's just like with marriage.
Look at the wait. Look at the guy in the top right when he said
with
that.
Homosexuality, you know what I'm saying? And also, you know, it's just like with marriage, you know, divorcing and everybody sleeping every time taking hair, you know, in the South, it ain't like that. So it's like that's just that foundation of Trump. But now going into the economy. I mean, I'm a businesswoman. I have my own financial consulting company, and seeing what he's been doing to where my taxes are not that high, and I'm not paying for what I came from, aka living off of food stamps and continue. And I got family on food stamps that continue to live off of it. And I know, listen, I came from the hood. I was just in the hood yesterday because my cousin just got out of jail, so I went to go see him. So I mean, this is what I'm around every day. And it's like my cousins got the same opportunities I got. All they know about is either they're gonna make it in basketball or they're gonna have to just try to get some type of job and make it. I'm like, no, let's start a business of like, let's get this chicken, let's get into real estate, let's do this, that, and the other.
Helping certain people, you know.
It's helping me.
But it's temporary. You know, you have the tax.
But creating your own business is not
Listen,
temporary.
It's not temporary. Let me tell you something.
I just want to finish my statement. What I'm saying is this.
I have no idea what to say in response to any of this.
for me, because I was able to step out. And this is a chick who got a felony, who had 5 years probation, who got a felony for grand larceny, which came down from money.
Again, this hyper individualism where like, hey, I know a person who did really well in spite of bad circumstances, therefore everyone can. This is a cancer on the human mind. This is a literal fucking cancer, and I would excise it with a rusty blade if I could.
Laundering. So when I say I was doing white collar crime, I was out here in these streets hustling, scamming, please, okay? And so what I did was I made a choice to surrender my life to Jesus and live righteously. And so what he did was he put me in a position to where now I can teach people about finances and how to get out of the illegal game and clean their money the right way, get their credit on point, get into real estate, flip houses, and live a good stewarded life with money. So now I'm taking my cousins who all sell drugs. All of my cousins sell drugs. If they're not playing ball, they're selling drugs. And if they're in jail, they're getting out to sell drugs.
All right.
Drugs, because they're too old for ball. So all they know how to do is get money. So how do you tell somebody who's been getting money all their life, oh, so now I'm about to work a regular job, like get paid and they're gonna take tax out my check, and then they don't even know what it is.
Literally nothing. This has literally nothing to do with anything. What the fuck is she going on about? Hillary was a big part of the super predator myth that pushed mass incarcerations. Yeah, I'm perfectly aware of that fact. But Hillary still polled very favorably compared to Trump with black Americans. So I don't think that there was like this unified hatred of her. And by the way, Hillary is a lot less racist than Donald fucking Trump. So I don't consider that a fair argument against her in that particular context.
The taxes is going, so they just work 40 hours a week. They thinking they about to get a nice little $500 check and say $250. They're like, wait, what? I'm about to go sell drugs again. So now I have to teach them how to get out here in the legal game and let's flip this money the right way. And again, the taxes that are placed on these businesses can either help us or hurt us. And what Trump is doing is helping me teach my cousins in the hood how to move so that they can get money and not keep busting people upside the head for money or selling drugs to people. These people that are continuously living on welfare, we're paying for it. So the more you're giving them in food stamps, the more you're allowing them to extend their lifestyle in the project, the more money is coming out of my pocket as a taxpayer.
Yeah, and if you cut those programs, that means it's more likely that these people are going to have to, get arrested because they don't have the basic subsidiaries necessary for them to survive in life. They're going to commit more crimes. They're going to be arrested. It's going to cost more money, and it's going to continue to come out of your pocket. It's almost as though true restorative change is the only way to address an institutional problem and not just encouraging every single individual black person to try really super duper extra hard.
Well, as a taxpayer, and then now it's hindering my business. When now I'm not paying that much taxes, I got more money. So now if I need to say to homie, yo, listen, I got 5 racks, I'm about to invest this into you so we can start working on your business, and if we're gonna let the money circulate, once it circulates, you can go out on your own. If taxes is taking that money, how can I take that 5 racks and give it to them?
This is literally just a businesswoman like bitching that like welfare is hurting her ability to make more money. What a very Christ-like behavior, by the way. Oh, providing for like money and food to the poor. Not on my tax dollars. See, I'm a Reformed Christian. I want to live my life in a Christ-like way. That's why right now I'm hemming and hawing over the taxes that I pay to the government, which go towards like the literal fucking subsistence livelihood of the community of people I pretend to care about.
That's part of my problem with Donald Trump is he's literally making the rich richer. And what happens with that?
Wait, does this one not have a mic?
The poor have to get poorer.
Raise your hand if you agree with the statement that I'm about to make. The welfare system destroyed the black family.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Right. So for the people who didn't
So the three, yeah, naturally.
raise their hands,
There's a lie on that.
please tell me why you disagree with that assertion. You do not agree with that assertion.
That's a hard question because it didn't help or hurt. It's the same.
It's the same, right.
It's the same thing because I believe at one point, you couldn't get welfare if you had a fan in the house or something like that. It's just.
And I think the other issue is like nobody's actually talking about like how that system, like those systems, affirmative action benefited more white women than it did anybody else.
About affirmative action.
Okay,
Like, why do they bring up things that don't got nothing to do with it?
Whoa. Man, why are you talking about affirmative action after they started talking about welfare and entitlement programs? How irrelevant. Whereas fucking bitch boy, fucking shiny face up there in the top left with the glorious fucking white teeth rambled about him being a military vet and him being picked on by like gay people because he was conservative. Jesus Christ, these fucking people. All conservatives act in bad faith. All conservatives lie. All conservatives either are or are one step away from being fascists.
Nothing
Let him finish.
I'm literally about to make a correlation, but
please.
What I was going to say is that a lot of these systems that literally have been stereotyped to look like it's black people who benefit the most from them is actually white people who benefit the most from them. So that's what I was going to. So when I brought up affirmative action, I was
They're so mad. They're so fucking triggered. They have no arguments.
bringing it up as a correlation. Like affirmative action is always sold publicly like it's benefited more black people when it actually has benefited more white women. Welfare is a system that there are more white people in this country on welfare than black people. More white people have benefited from welfare than black people. So like
they're so fucking triggered.
More white people in the country. What does white people have to do? What does it do with black people? Why every time we talk about white people, black people start going back to white people? Why everything have to do?
They're so fucking triggered. Oh yeah, welfare destroy the black family. More white people are on welfare than black people. How is that relevant? I don't understand. You keep bringing up irrelevant things, like things that are directly related to the conversation we're having. Can you stay on topic, you triggered libtard?
If you understand how systems of oppression work, then you would understand that the system is being sold publicly as something that black people, destruction of black people, when realistically...
People who talk about welfare...
Literally nobody let him finish.
We're not gonna talk over each other. We was gonna play nice in the sandbox before we got here.
And then we'll open it up to rebuttals. George, please finish your point.
Yeah. So again, my point goes back to like when, like just like what she was saying, like with the whole like whether it hurt the black community or whether it helped the black community. That's not really the issue. The issue is that all these are systems of oppression, and all the systems are interconnected. And we can't keep looking at these systems as like, oh well, this is this one thing and this affects this. Like even when she was bringing up her paycheck, she's like, well, my paycheck is going to this. Like yeah, but your paycheck is also going to infrastructure. Your paycheck is also going to Medicaid. Your paycheck is also going to Medicare. Your paycheck is also going to Social Security, which is what helps my grandmother survive. Your paycheck, like you know what I mean?
So I'm paying for your grandma. That's okay. But your kids are...
Whoa! Wow, what a Christ-like bitch! So I'm paying for your grandma who's trying to survive, so that's okay? What a crap! This is religion! What a unbelievable fucking cunt. Jesus Christ. So I'm paying for a program that keeps people alive? You think that's okay for you to take my business profits so you can stay alive? Wow. Wow. Incredible. Wow. Wow. And truly one who has internalized the teachings of Christ. Yeah, there are no religious people.
They're gonna pay for you too.
But can we make our own choice to say that we want to put our own money to the side to help?
I'm never gonna get so.
See, she literally disagrees with the concept of taxes. Now that she's a little business owner and she saw that shit getting ripped out of her paycheck, even though her business and all the profits that come from it derive from the existence of government infrastructure, of support systems, of entitlement programs, of everything else that makes her business like not only profitable but possible. And then she turns around and she goes, "Oh well, I shouldn't have to pay any of that." How wow. Truly, religion has done well in this woman's heart. I hope she fucking roasts in hell.
Again, what I'm saying is like my point that I'm trying to make is that the systems are interconnected. So like you can't just keep speaking like this system is this and we need to remove this money from this system. It's like that's not how that works. These systems are all interconnected. So it's not like you're just removing something from here and it's not going to have a chain reaction on the other ways that they're able to oppress us through a different system.
And I understand all this, and we can have these very academic conversations about
oh, we could talk about facts and analysis, but
systems of oppression and intersectionality and all these other things. Like we can do that all day long. Everybody has a degree here. But what we really need to talk about is how do we help the people right now?
Yeah. Through academic. Jesus Christ. So we could talk about facts and like analysis and what's necessary, but instead I just want to talk about my feelings.
Exactly. You help the people right now.
Yeah, like, and this has literally nothing to do. Like, he was talking about helping people now.
Let me ask this. Y'all want to help somebody? Give me $20. Somebody give me $20. So what are the policies that you?
Oh, he's so happy. Look at him. He's so happy because he thought of his zinger. He heard smart big brain man say lots of word, smart large word, no counter argument, and he thought, what can I do? How can I counter this one? We could talk about facts and stuff, but like, what we should just do something, you know? And then all the conservatives start hooping and hollering and fucking flinging their fucking graduation caps up in the air in celebration of this brilliant fucking idea, concocted freshly inside this man's perfectly smooth head, as one would make an egg inside an egg maker.
seen put forth.
By the way, to those of you who are curious, this is something that comes up a lot when like self-hating black conservatives who want to be white, when they talk about the black community, how like up until the civil rights movement, there was very little like out of wedlock birth or bastard children, and like families tend to stay together in the black community. And now we're post civil rights, and that's not the case. It's a super simple answer, my dudes. It's the drug war. It's literally the fucking drug war. Okay. It's really that fucking simple, okay? The government disseminated a whole bunch of highly addictive, extremely cheap drugs into communities that wouldn't be able to make money otherwise. They pushed it onto community leaders. They pushed it onto people who like shills and plants who would disseminate it. They ramped up charges against people having that specific type of drug, and then they just waited for results. They over-policed the areas. It turns out it's very, very easy to have a community with a bunch of fucking single mothers when you arrest all of the dads. And it's very easy to put the dads in a position where they're arrestable when you make it so that the only fucking way to make money in these communities is by pushing drugs. It's that simple. There used to be small, locally owned black like community businesses that were frequent in predominantly black areas, but these have grown less and less and less common as with the rise of like neoliberalism and globalist like economic policies. You have all these big box stores that replace the need for local independent business and ensure that money doesn't stay in the hands of black communities. Now there's no real way to make money in these like fucking ghetto communities unless you want to either travel way out, which you don't have the time to do, unless you need the education to move on up in life, which you can't get because your schools are shit and you have no money for university, or if you sell drugs. It's literally that simple. And as Comrade Kim points out in chat, anyone heard about Black Wall Street? Ye back in the day, it was a center of... Here, in fact, we can actually look at it real quick. That is not how you spell those words. Greenwood, Tulsa. All right. So, wealthy community, Greenwood, Tulsa, called Black Wall Street. Lots of trading happened there. Kind of an epicenter of black wealth in America, right? Tulsa race riot of 1921. White residents marched into the town, burnt it to the fucking ground, slaughtered 26 people, injured hundreds more, razed the neighborhood, and forced thousands of people out of their homes. Just, you know, why did they do it? They just didn't like black people having things. It's really that simple. These were back in the Jim Crow days too, okay? Just marched right on in, destroyed all of the wealth, marched out. You know who got arrested? Nobody. Didn't happen. Government just conveniently fumbled the investigations afterwards. May have something to do with the fact that the police chief of the town was involved in the massacre. So, you know, there is a precedent for white people destroying black wealth. And while they used to have to do it in very overt ways, now they can do it through very broad policy decisions, ones that strip wealth out of the black community, ensure the only way that they can make that wealth back is through illegality, and then making that illegality so over-penalized, so punitive, so over-policed that it makes sure that a substantial portion of the black population ends up in prison. Then you have single mothers raising multiple kids. These kids don't have the money or resources necessary to live a good life, so they themselves turn towards the same shit that got their dads arrested, and the cyclical process of generational economic deprivation continues forever into perpetuity. There is no way to deal with that by pulling yourself up by your bootstraps. There is no way to deal with that by just doing your best. It can't be done. This just doesn't fucking work that way. It will never work that way. Individual exceptions are exceptions because they are exceptional, because they manage to break free of a system which institutionally discriminates against millions of human beings. To suggest that this system can be broken through individual will is not just optimistic, it is delusional. And as far as I'm concerned, every single person who perpetuates that idea that just pulling yourself up by your bootstraps, again, a euphemism used to describe something which is physically impossible, if pulling yourself up by your bootstraps is the way to improve this situation in the mind of or in your mind, I consider you complicit in black exploitation. As far as I'm concerned, you're part of white supremacy. So the fuckers here, little fucking black kids over here running around talking about how bootstraps are the answer. That bitch lady, the Christ-like lady who has a problem with her taxes going towards saving lives, and fucking gay boy up there in the top left. These people, they're white supremacists. Okay? It doesn't matter if they don't believe it in their hearts, though we don't know that they don't. What matters is that they perpetuate its language, they perpetuate its rhetoric, and they stand by its policy. It is the policy of white supremacy, and they are white supremacists. Accept absolutely no compromise on this issue.
Either by conservative politicians or by our current president that you agree with, that you feel are benefiting the black community?
Just for example, we look at Trump, what he's doing with tariffs for the trades. And now he's done that. Now he's
You mean the tariffs that have been universally fucking disastrous that every economist complained about? His chief economist fucking resigned because Trump wasn't listening to him. And right now people are saying that if the tariff trade war continues, it's going to continue to have massively fucking detrimental consequences to the American economy. It's hurt a fuck ton of industries, and Trump has had to fucking emergency leverage government funds to subsidize American farmers, meaning he literally promoted trade policies that unnecessarily hampered trade between ourselves and China, hurt our industries, and then paid for it with our tax dollars. But yeah, naturally, yeah, no, absolutely, yeah, tariffs, yeah, she says enthusiastically, not a thought echoing in her fucking brain.
He's bringing jobs back into the country.
Oh my God! Look at fucking George up there. He's disgusted in the top right. Look at him. He's like, oh fucking God. He's disgusted.
Now he's done that. Now he's bringing jobs back into the country. When you get jobs back into the country, black unemployment is the lowest it's been in American history. Black unemployment is at right now.
The trend towards black unemployment lowering has been continuing since the Obama presidency. This has nothing to do with Trump's policy whatsoever. Trump has not engaged in any policy that has benefited the black unemployment rate. This is just a continuation of the previous trends that we have seen under Obama. What's more, by the way, unemployment going down, underemployment going up. Just because people have jobs doesn't mean they're making enough money to survive.
So that benefits not just me, but any person that's black. How's that not benefit? Trump has everything. A lot of things Trump's done when it comes to jobs, economy, when it comes to the stock market. I'm investing for the first time in my entire life. I'm making a lot of money, by the way. Thank you, Donald Trump, for that.
This pretty much sums up the thought process right here that you're going for. So we can break this down. None of Donald Trump's policies have had an effect on black unemployment. None whatsoever. This is a continuation of Obama-era trends. For two, the tariffs have been regaled as universally disastrous, and the fact that his trade policies led to him having to subsidize farmers with American tax dollars is an example of failed Keynesian economics, which is the exact system of economics that conservatives pretend to give a fuck about when they're not in office. And then for three, the reason the stock market is stable right now is because stock market trends towards stability. Generally speaking, if there's a Republican in office, the stock market understands that they're not going to put any measures or restrictions on Wall Street's fuckery. So, of course, that leads to stability, and stability means that the stock market is going to produce better outcomes. It's that simple, since investor trust is what sort of builds the bridges, that so on and so forth. Okay, none of this has anything to do with Trump and good economic policy. In fact, one of these points acts against him specifically.
So, I mean, and I'm a black man, and my black man, is there a visible wall there's a wall that says, oh, you're black, you can't invest? No, I go right through that wall and I invest. That's
I don't remember saying that. Did anyone down in chat, can somebody provide the timestamp of when one of the liberals said black people can't invest?
what blacks can do. We need to stop playing victim and start being victor.
Yes.
See, there we go. The victim thing.
So let me ask this. For those of us who have a problem with some of the policies that have been offered by conservative politicians or by the sitting administration, I want to ask you a very specific question. Do you believe that either the sitting president and his administration offer racist policies, or that the party that conservative politicians fall under offer racist policies?
I want to stop calling things racist.
Sure. No, but tell me why.
They want to hear that.
It's, again, like, that's why I don't talk anymore in terms of racism. Like Toni Morrison said, racism.
By the way, notice how, and this is important, notice how disrespectfully the conservatives treat this guy, George, every time he speaks up. Listen, you don't, the camera isn't on him when you hear the snicker, but look at their faces.
Politicians fall under offer racist policies.
I want to stop calling things racist.
Sure. No, but tell me why.
They want to hear that.
See? Laughing from the two in the top left.
Again.
The black woman's giving a sarcastic look. Somebody snickered. They're treating this guy disrespectfully as fuck. Earlier, the guy was like, sure, we could talk about facts. This is why I give no credence to people who say that I should be civil. This guy in the top right has been nothing but calm, respectful. Not a single insult passes between this guy's lips. Calm, respectful, informative, and concise. And what do? They belittle him. They give him sarcastic looks. They fucking sneer. They fucking giggle when they're off camera. They were on camera at the time. That just wasn't the shot they chose to use. They are incredibly fucking disrespectful. There's 3 black women. Yeah, obviously the conservative black woman who I moved my fucking mouse cursor over when I said it, idiots. Anyway, this is why I don't give a fuck about civility, okay? For all these fucking whiny bitch baby, crybaby fucking conservatives moan about how they didn't experience real racism until they came out as conservative. This guy in the top right has done nothing but be cordial and informative, and they shit on him for it. Literally, being cordial, being polite, decorum, it means nothing. Conservatives are subhuman. Their brains don't work properly. They don't give a fuck about facts. All they care about is their personal feelings. And whether those personal feelings be ones which serve their personal interest, or which benefit their group identity, or which make them feel like they're not succumbing to some sort of victim complex that they've projected onto themselves from misinterpreting other people's statements, whether or not it is a disease of the mind, okay? And they are subhuman. They are animals to me. They are not human beings. There is something fundamentally wrong with them. I have never spoken to a conservative in my entire life for whom I did not feel there was something off. There's something broken right up here. Some logical synapse, some nerve ending that's fried. You can talk with them up to a point, but eventually something comes out and their brain just shuts. It just shuts down. Yeah, that's not ableism. That's just straight facts, yo.
And that's why I don't talk anymore in terms of racism. Like Toni Morrison said, racism is a distraction. She had a very good point on how it distracts us from doing the actual work we need to do. I work in my community. I do HIV testing. I physically work with the people who I talk about. Like, you know what I mean? I don't tell people go pull yourself up by the bootstraps. I go buy the goddamn boots for them because I have a little bit more privilege than them. But when we talk about it, I'm talking about anti-blackness because this is a global thing. And I think that's the part that they were bringing up earlier. Like, we can't just look at some isolationism just of black Americans or just of this. Like, anti-blackness is a global thing, and it's all interconnected. And the problem is, people are like, oh, we shouldn't talk about the intersections. We've never had the ability to talk about the intersections. So this is the time that we actually need to start talking about the damn intersections because we've never had that opportunity. If the one thing I will say about Donald Trump is that, yeah, he opened up the floor for conversations. Yeah. So now, because now for the first time ever in this country, white people feel oppressed. Now that white people feel oppressed, they calling me all the damn time because now they want to know what oppression feel like. And now they want to know, well, how'd you get through this? Because now I'm getting booked and busy all the damn time because white people feel oppressed. And that's who they feel oppressed. They feel oppressed by somebody that look like them and they're not used to that. A particular part of this country for the first time ever in their whole lives feel just as oppressed as my ass is.
And can we also talk about the tax
Finally, the blonde one.
bill? Because you talk about
tell me about that.
So my biggest issue was
Why is her mic so bad? I don't know if it's just my earbuds. It sounds like she. Oh, do you think she put her shirt mic on the lapel of her overalls, but since it's unbuttoned on one side, I don't know. It just sounds kind of bad.
With that tax bill, I think recently one of the bigger companies got $10 million in tax benefits, and they're going to donate it. But that money belongs to you. That money should be for you and all of us and all our family. It doesn't belong to the 1%, 10% of America.
When we talk about black people and the 1%ers and the rich and stuff, why do we always assume that black people are broke?
No.
Because statistically, they're substantially more likely to be broke than any other group in America, just massively. Look at him! Look at this! The two conservatives. God, this is so fucking cringy. Look at her. This guy says, "What? Why do all people say black people poor?" And this woman fucking loses it. Yeah. Yeah, it's so stupid when they say that. She says the business owner who said she herself profits off the exploitation of the poor people that she works with, who condescends to them, who mocks them for their choices, who ridicules them for their lifestyle, and then turns around and says that she shouldn't be taxed to save the lives of others. Yes. Phenomenal. Sick in the fucking head.
And let me finish before you jump in there. Why are we always, we're always operating.
Talk about Hugbox, by the way. People say fucking that lefties need their that lefties need their like little hug boxes, their little safe spaces to recuperate. Every time one of them makes they don't even make a point. They just say something. They all fucking lose it and clap and start hollering because they like that's what they have to do. They have to do it to maintain the shell.
Under the assumption that all black people are broke. That
Nobody said that.
black people, that there are no black people in the 1% of this country.
Literally nobody said that.
That there are no black people that are CEOs. That there are
Nobody said that.
no black people that are business owners.
Literally nobody said that.
That there are no black people that head and run the corporations that benefit from these types of
Nobody said that.
talking about black people from the prism of brokenness and oppression as if
Yeah, because they're more statistically likely to be broke by like a massive fucking margin. This is a true fact. I don't know if it like hurts his face. Yeah, this guy really is the black Dave Rubin. He acts exactly like Dave Rubin. He's gay like Dave Rubin. I assume this is important somehow. They probably both hate themselves for it. And they both have the fucking t-shirt blazer look, and he's been on Dave Rubin.
the black 1%ers don't exist.
Again, like
Nobody said that.
Well, we can talk about the exception and the rule, right? Because what you're speaking of is the exception of black.
So we need to start actually having like, real conversations about reparations, right? And like what reparations actually look like.
Hey, there we go. I don't even know if I'm behind reparations, but just say it just to get these fucking piece of shit conservatives mad. This is what I mean. Every single person here who said they're a conservative has proven themselves not only to be fucking stupid, but also morally reprehensible. Like, except for the big guy in the bottom left, the one who hat too big for he goddamn hat. I mean, who head too big for he goddamn hat. That is the only one who hasn't like done anything, and that's only because he hasn't said anything. He probably thinks it's like Jews or lizards or something. But yeah. And since they're conservatives, they probably fuck kids. Yes, true. All conservatives do fuck children. It's very unfortunate.
Not reparations that way, right? Not reparations.
Yeah, get him fucking mad. What the fuck? Look at her.
Not reparations.
How do you get your hands to move that fast? She's breaking. What the fuck?
With Jewish people receiving reparations right now in this time, but you're like, oh no.
There's not enough time in the day for us to have a reparations conversation.
People have websites where they've actually created models and thinking about like, oh, even if you forget the mule, right? What does actually 40 acres for black people look like? Or just recognizing that the trauma and the history that has been affected on black people. Like I think about like literacy, right? You can't tell black people for 200 plus years that you can't read and then give them books and be like, why aren't you reading? Why aren't you reading without addressing that trauma, right? There's things within our system, within ourselves that we need to address.
Just so you know, generational trauma is actually a studied sociological phenomena. I know it sounds dumb because you might think like trauma, like trauma's a personal thing that happened to you, and generational means that it's not you just, so how can it be? But no, it's like really fucking think about it, okay? So like, you're a black dude today, 2019, okay? That means that in all likelihood, your parents were alive and children during state mandated segregation, during separate but equal. And their parents were alive back during the height of the fucking Ku Klux Klan running around in the South. Yeah, easy peasy. If you're like a 25, 30-year-old black guy today, your parents grew up under state segregation. Your grandparents grew up under the reign of the Ku Klux Klan. Their parents, more so with sharecropping, and their parents, slaves. That's a lot. That's a lot of shit that comes down through that. You would be amazed how much of your livelihood, how much of your ability to function derives from that which you've generationally received, okay? I don't know much about my ancestry besides the fact that I'm Polish, German, Irish, and even that that's just like math. Like this grandparent came from there, this grandparent came from there. But I don't know much from my lineage. But I do know this. I do know that my personal well-being, my personal success as a human derived a lot from the fact that my parents are well-spoken, educated, curious, well-informed, intelligent, and passionate people. Unquestionably. And the reason they were that was because their parents were intelligent, curious, well-spoken, well thought out people, and their parents before that, and so on and so forth, okay? Now, the cycle's not perfect. Sometimes people overcome shitty circumstances, but usually the shitty circumstances are not quite as overwhelming as a dozen generations of chattel slavery, then 2 generations of state-mandated segregation, and now we're a generation and a half or so into people, like black people, being totally free, ostensibly. Generational trauma is a real thing. I encourage you all to look it up or go do research on the subject yourself. I don't want to misrepresent any of the specifics without having read any articles to base my opinions on. But I did read quite a bit about it back when I was in university.
You know what the problem is with the black person? I'll tell you what.
Conservatism has ever given me is the opportunity to see myself as an individual.
Thank you.
A cancer. A cancer.
I was just about to say that.
Collective.
Yes.
All the time. Just for me, it's just like when we're black people, like we're always supposed to be a part of some monolith and collective where we're just
Literally nobody says this.
supposed to always be talking about.
Why that's still, and this is the thing, you see, it's like why is every black person, why is a black person, we have to always compare ourselves to white people for it to be some, but the white people, so it's like,
Wait, leftists aren't the ones saying black people need to compare themselves to white people. What the fuck are you talking about?
In my mind, I feel like, at the end of the day, I'm Bevelin Beatty. That's all I am. And all I know what to do is when that check comes, that check say my name on it. When that Rick comes and say my name on it.
She can't not talk about money. This is all she can talk about. Her brain is fucking broken. What a disgusting fucking human being. The Christ-like woman reborn who then made a business, exploited the people who worked in it, gave them shit for it, complained about her taxes going to helping people. And all she can do is frame this issue in terms of like the money she makes.
My phone bill due, that's my name.
Who here was raised in a black Democratic household?
Black Democrat? Like Democrats. Okay.
I want to hear what your reactions are to black voters being synonymous with the Democratic Party.
Well, here's the thing. The reason that black voters are synonymous with the Democratic Party is...
I'm ready. Say it. You know what? Say it, because they're dumb black darkies. Just do it. Just say it. And you're the one cool special one who broke free because you're such a free thinker. Just fucking say it. Mask off.
Because we've been on the receiving end of about 50 years of an onslaught of PR. It comes from our entertainers, it comes from our ball players, it comes from our singers, it comes from the Democratic politicians who, most of which are black and empty, but are being used to sell us this
Stay strong.
idea of the Democratic Party being the home of African Americans. And that is why we vote 90% Democratic. Now, let me tell you something.
I think actually the main reason why the Democratic Party has so many black voters is actually because the Republican Party is racist? No. I can't have this conversation with people who pretend the Southern strategy didn't exist. The Republican Party literally oriented their platforming strategy, their candidacy, around being racist, but quietly. Okay?
There is not another demographic in the world that votes 9 out of 10 votes for one party. Why is that?
What? Are you 100% sure about that? Nowhere in the world are there any racial demographics that vote overwhelmingly for one particular party. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I don't know for sure whether or not that statement is true, but I know for sure that statement is not true. That's a really fucking dumb statement. That's so dumb. That's such a dumb fucking statement. Yeah, Kurds are the first thing that come to my mind, but I don't know.
That's still something to be proud of. Why do we say that we are proud to vote 90% for Democrats? They don't have to do shit for us, okay? Because they know.
Yeah, I agree. So, what the fuck does the Republican Party do for you? Apart from tell you that you're like the super special black because you rose up above and fuck those other dirty, degenerate, poor fucking darkies who weren't as smart as you and couldn't pull themselves up by their own bootstraps. What the fuck is this criticism? The Democratic Party doesn't do shit for us, so I'll go with the more racist party. All right.
They're gonna get 90%.
You want to respond?
I think you're kind of essentializing just like black people in general, because my perspective of, I didn't raise my hand, but like I did kind of grow up in a black democratic household. And like my family, I came here when I was 4 from the Democratic Republic of the Congo in Central Africa. And like my mom didn't know Democratic or Republican. She just knew policies and she was watching the news. And
Wait a second. This woman's not African American. She's African American?
Democratic household. And like my family, I came here when I was 4 from the Democratic Republic of the Congo in Central.
Oh shit. Okay, so this isn't she's not like black, like American black. She's like she's literally African. I fucking hate the term African American. When I say African American, I actually mean African American.
Africa. And like my mom didn't know Democratic or Republican. She just knew policies, and she was watching the news and she was seeing what policies benefit her and her 3 children because she was a single mother. So like I think that's definitely essentializing the black community. Just like you're saying you want it to be an individual, you're kind of not doing that by, essentializing these rhetoric.
But I have to use the example because 90% of us vote a certain way. So just in the context of the conversation, I have to.
I wonder if it's like crossed his mind, like why black people tend to vote Democrat. Like he's basically just said like, oh yeah, we've had a PR campaign going. Okay, well there's been an anti-PR campaign. There's been a negative PR campaign coming from the Republican Party, which does racist shit every single fucking election cycle.
Say, well, if 90% of us are voting a single way, like why is that? And to me, that's a big driver of why.
Yeah, why?
And opens yourself up for brainwash for a community as well, because political leaders.
Because they're brainwashed. Okay.
If they see you voting that much blindly like that, they're going to lie to you and do whatever because they know you're going to.
She just said policy. She just said
Hold on. Yeah, from a policy standpoint, if you want to jump in, please.
It's not as much groupthink as people assume it is, as much as it's harm reduction. So one of the things that I often talk about, because
listen, they laugh when he talks. They're so fucking disrespectful.
I'm not Republican, I'm not Democrat, I'm just black and I'm George.
Yes.
I talk about what we need to do in our communities, right? Local level, macro level, micro level, right? Because that's really where it starts. Voting isn't the beginning, voting isn't the ending, voting is just a tool in the toolbox. That whole toolbox includes us as black people when we do get money and when we do get on and when we do get these things, going back and bringing other people along with us, not shitting on them because they couldn't pull themselves up by bootstraps. Again, like I always talk about that whole bootstrap argument because some people don't have boots. Yep. So it's like when you're telling people that they can pull themselves out of somewhere,
I'm sorry, just listening to this guy. Oh God, listening to this guy talk, it's like somebody's gently massaging my scalp.
People don't even have anything to pull from.
What is it about conservative politics that have convinced you that either the Republican Party or conservative politicians have your best interest in mind as black people in America?
My biggest thing is this.
Just talk about your business, you dumb fucking stupid bitch.
I feel like a lot of conservatives, they just want to mind their business. They want to get their hands out of your pot and have you.
Except for, abortion and, gay rights and, trans rights and, voting bills and, literally everything else. Yeah.
Do what they did, figure themselves out. And I want to go back to student loans because I pay student loans, okay? I went to school for fashion marketing and merchandising, did not use the degree at all. It threw it away, and now I got all this money to pay back. So now every month, I pay my bill on time. It reports to my credit. And because I paid on time, I got good credit. You know what I'm saying? So I'm still able to utilize my credit to go further. So for me, I'm not asking for the government to make better policies for me to pay back my loans. What I'm going to do is I'm going to work my business, and when I got the money I need, I'm going to pay it off. And then
That's like, this is literally all her brain can encapsulate. Like, oh, literally like $1 trillion in student debt? Oh, well, I don't know. I do my business, and when I have the money, I'll pay it off. There, I think I solved the problem, right? She says, like, standing in front of a ruined cinder, like, on fire. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? This is the most unironically greedy fucking woman I have ever seen in my entire life. I have never seen somebody so, yeah, she's Mr. Krabs. I have never seen somebody so openly and unashamedly fucking greedy.
Let me answer though. And then when I get the chance and I make that money for my kids, if my kids choose to go to college, me as a parent, that's my responsibility to make sure that I pay for their education or I open the doors for entrepreneurship. So, because my kids don't have to go to college. If they want to own businesses, they can own businesses. If they want to get their education, they can get their education and work for their brother or sister who owns a business. So, in my
just work for your brother or sister. What the fuck? Oh yeah, if you don't want an education, just go work for a family member that owns a business, you fucking idiot. Jesus Christ! Fucking hell! Fucked in the head, these people. And notice everything she's saying doesn't solve any problems. Nothing is gonna get solved this way. We could do this shit for 1,000 years in a row. It could be fucking 3019 and the black people still live in ghettos with generational poverty and they'll still be saying, well, one of these days they'll just One of these days they'll bootstrap. Just the longer this goes on, the longer we perpetuate this myth that bootstrapping is the solution to black wealth inequality, and the longer this continues to not be a solution, which it obviously fucking isn't, the more we play into the true stereotype, the Nazi stereotype, that they're just dumb. That black people are just dumb. They have lower IQs. Their skull shapes don't allow them the level of creativity and initiative that white people enjoy. They're better at things like athletics, and they talk funny, and they make like good food, I guess. But beyond that, they're just kind of stupid. And it's like not even their fault they're in the ghettos. There's just nothing else we can do with them. That is the end goal of the policies and the ideas that are being promoted right here. To say bootstraps are the solution, to see them not work time and time again, because of course they're not. The only remaining option is that. Have you noticed the right advocating against academia while posing trade schools as a natural alternative? That's kind of what she's saying here. Yeah, the conservatives are always anti-intellectual. That's why intellectuals tend to be predominantly left-leaning, because it's obvious. These are obvious solutions to a broken society.
Reality is this: how is it that the government keep having to pay back stuff that's our choice in the first place? Ain't nobody putting no gun in nobody head, making nobody go to school.
That's what capitalism's saying.
And we know.
Except our economy benefits from people going to school because we have more and more jobs that necessitate like higher levels of education. We need people to fill those slots, which means we need to incentivize people to get that education, which means that the government does benefit from subsidizing those programs. Easy. It took me like 10 seconds to completely demolish the point she just made. And there's the philosophical argument that you could make, that education is supposed to be the great equalizer, that if you believe in equal opportunity for everyone, you should believe in education because this is the means by which people will achieve their personal enlightenment, their drive in society.
No, capitalism is not saying that. Capitalism is not saying that. That's not true. Capitalism is not saying that. Capitalism is saying that you can start a business through trade. If you want to go be a doctor or lawyer, you could do that. Or if you want to be an entrepreneur, you can do that. It's still a choice.
That's what capitalism is. Capitalism says you can do this and this. There are no other economic systems that allow you to do this and this. This is what capitalism was. When Adam Smith wrote his foundational work, The Wealth of Nations, he said, but what if instead of caste system, we let people choose job? ? And from that day, capitalism was born, and that's pretty much all there is to it. And there's nothing else to it. It's not more complicated than that. That's pretty much what it is.
Specific field of study,
that don't mean that because it's a choice, but now we gotta pay our taxes for the fact that
she's so fucking triggered that she has to pay taxes.
Now I gotta pay for that.
Everything for her comes back. She reminds me of Hark Dan. We all know fucking Slimy Dan, fucking Micro Brain Dan, over from Destiny's side of shit. Literally, it all comes down to money for these people. The difference is I can make fun of this woman for being Mr. Krabs, but I can't do it to Harkdan because Harkdan's Jewish, so I can't play that stereotype up. Slumlord Dan, slumming it up again.
We literally shame the people who don't go to college, the people who are... America does. Like, we literally shame it. We say, like, for you to be successful in this country, you have to get a degree. You have to speak English, right? Like, there's all these things that are told to us. That, like,
you're so fucking triggered. The conservatives literally can't stop interrupting people. Notice... when the conservatives talk, everyone is dead fucking silent. When the liberals talk, the same three fucking dipshit smooth-brained conservatives come in to fucking talk over every one of their points.
We have to do to be successful in this country. If we don't do that, then you won't amount to anything,
Can I make
right?
a strong point? Because I agree with exactly what you said, is that we tell people in this country that they ain't shit if they don't have a college degree. And that is the biggest lie that we tell to people. And it is a huge lie that we tell to black kids, that they are nothing without a college degree. Because you want to talk about student loan debt. I got student loan debt, you got student loan debt, she got student loan debt, these people have student loan debt. So what we're doing is we're telling these kids that they are nothing unless they have this degree, which is virtually worthless, okay, at a certain...
Hey, I know one of like the big sort of jumps forward in terms of quality of life and the development of society was people getting more educated, but educated cost money? I mean, it didn't used to cost money. It only costs money now due to some very specific financial policies that were implemented on a national level. But now that it does cost money, I mean, I guess we could pay off student debts and subsidize the program so it doesn't cost a fuck ton of money for people to get an education. But also, we could just get rid of education altogether. We could just get rid of educating people as sort of a base level and just go back to the fucking feudal days where you're lucky if you had, like, you know, basic literacy and a basic understanding of mathematics. Yeah, I think this is a good way to improve society. Yes. A slight increase in taxes to allow education for everyone, thus benefiting society and improving our economy. No. What if we just didn't learn anything at all?
Point. What we need to start telling our youth to do is to build businesses. Like, you don't need a degree to do that. And we have a system that is putting these kids, putting this idea in their mind
Lesbillionaire, you're on.
that they need this degree to be worth something and making them indebted to the government at the same time.
Until we change that,
We're gonna
the
start to
solution is
lose.
entrepreneurship and capitalism.
We're gonna start to lose some of us within the next like 15-ish minutes. So I want to like move along. We're gonna go into overdrive here. Who here believes that the black vote should be courted more?
Well, then, yeah, of course.
So for those of you who didn't raise your hands, why did you not? Why do you not feel
I
that
don't
way?
trust when they start courting us. Like, I'm always like, oh God, what do they want? What are they trying to
Wait, now the mic's coming in good.
do? They haven't really helped us before. What do you want us to do now? And then we're gonna be left with nothing.
A person has to serve the majority. So if we're talking high-level politics, no matter who you vote for, the majority of this country ain't me. It doesn't look like me. So it's never going to be anybody who's going to do anything that's going to make a movement in a needle on that type of level.
This dude's woke as fuck.
Now, if you want to talk about micro-level politics and councilmen and who's sitting on the student board, who's sitting as the mayor, now we could talk about that all day.
I strongly agree with him when he says that we don't talk enough about local politics.
So that's where I'm at. That's why I said, like, courting black vote, like, you could do it, yeah.
I think that the best thing that we can do in terms of thinking about advocacy is how do we set up certain policy and legislation to keep those people accountable, right? Like, we need to be critical of both sides and thinking how people actually know what's on the ballot. Like, what are the propositions that are happening? Because I don't think both sides are educating our people properly at all.
On the props. That's true. I would like to say, like, this whole conversation, listening to everybody, some things I do disagree with, some we are, but I agree with a lot of the entrepreneurship thing. Like, investment. I think that we all want the same things. Everybody wants a boot. We all want boots. Some of us want more boots than others. Yeah. And I think we need to figure out how do we get there together? How do we work together to get what we want, which is the same thing. Yeah. You know, I think we have different ways of getting there.
This is a strategy I never considered before. It's the boot approach, okay? Maybe this is the hard line between, like, the conservatives and I can agree on. What if we just the boot?
No, I mean, we're good. That's it.
We're good.
Guys, I appreciate it. Everyone signed everything.
Okay, take a picture?
We can take a little picture.
Yeah, take a picture. Everybody say democracy.
Wait, no, get rid of the thingies. I want to get rid of the thingies. I want to see if George Michael looks mad as fuck in the picture. Fuck, how do I get rid? That ain't it. Nah, I don't think we're getting it. I should probably turn autoplay off anyway. All right. Okay, so the boots. Now we know. Fuck, man. God, fuck. Ah, this shit hurts. What the thing... Check the comments. Yeah. This is how people should talk about issues. I'm surprised YouTube hasn't taken it down as hate speech yet. Okay, so this is a right-leaning person. The girl in the overalls can only make faces at things she don't agree with. She can't think her point of view and defend it. That said, what? The girl was emotive, yeah, but that's because every time she tried to talk, she got drowned out by other people. This is literally just targeting her because she's the most, like, SJW-looking person there. And she is not... What the fuck? Can't think of her own point of view and defend it? This is so unsubstantiated. My man in the top left needs his own show. Okay, so all the comments are going to be like conservatives. Great. My God, the conservatives absolutely dominated this discussion. The comments are overwhelmingly conservative. It's great. This is what internet journalism is supposed to produce. Another person complaining about the girl in the overalls. It's called work. Anyone else notice the conservatives seem more knowledgeable? This shit is disgusting. It really fucking disgusts me. How much, like, conservative YouTube dominates. They find these videos to brigade and they absolutely fucking dogpile them. Oh yeah, you kids are having fun? Yeah? Yeah? Yeah, you kids having fun in there? Trans rights? Yeah? You all make me sick. But I'll give you a little thumbs up. Little thumb uppies.